an agent from the IRS can convince almost anybody that they cheated on their taxes or didn't pay enough. But if they go through this, they're going to be putting a lot of small businesses out of business.
Put this, gold somewhere in your clothes, so nobody find, nobody find, and go west.
Hey, Tim, we have one of your new customers here. Did you say that you came because of my channel?
Yes.
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
like watching your channel a couple times, you
Yeah?
know. I'm from Poland, so I feel like a little bit dangerous couple things,
Okay.
because, especially what's happened a couple days ago, was there's some treating for some like a former president. All this political climate, is my opinion, is time to wake up. Otherwise, we just start to doing the something like more, lots kind of some like a communist Stasi, if not even said the some, political police, Gestapo or something like this. And sometimes when I see what's happening in Canada, and maybe somebody watched how they treat the Pastor Arthur Pawlowski, it's coming to United States, My experience, if you or your father were reading or watching the wrong stuff, that smiley face coming to your house and start knocking the door. And this is what we see with some politicians. They coming to them, what you can imagine what can do for you.
What's your perspective, being from Poland, on gold and silver?
In my experience, it's 80s, and whatever you can touch. If you got some axle, whatever. You got the 2 pallets of the Johnny Walker in your garage, but some accident you can drink a little bit, or this is the glass. Or just like another form, something you can touch. Even some good set of tools, or just good quality watches, or whatever.
Tangible assets.
Physical.
Tangible,
things.
physical
Wood.
assets.
Wood,
yeah.
You just collect the wood and you can sell, in some bad times.
Right.
But
right.
in this case, some type of the gold or silver, that is some like the same stuff, but it's like a condensate this stuff.
Right. It's a more dense form of that type of
And
value.
I remember some story from the Bolshevik time, the owner give for some like the employees some kind of small gold rubles, and he said they give them some like his wife old coat, and he said put this gold somewhere in your clothes, so nobody find, nobody find, and go west, because the money changed so fast, so they survive this way. We've got some safe spots, in the west. They take out the clothes and take out the gold. But if the people's not really educated financially by self, they sell everything at once.
What is your primary interest, gold or silver?
On the beginning was gold, then a little bit more silver. Actually was the gold-silver ratio was about 100 or something like this. And then one just go some little this, little that, like Philharmonic and some, because it looks nice, coins. In the beginning you see the silver, but like a second wave you see some like art in this, and some like Yu Yankee said, oh, so beautiful.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
That's
He used to come in a lot because he was a stamp collector, but he got transferred to another college, so I haven't seen him for a while. But he's, not quite my age, but in that generation, and remembers the Russian tanks rolling through Warsaw, and none of the buildings had been repaired from the Second World War, but just to make a point, the turret would move or blast a shell at some broken down building, not realizing that there are people living in these broken down buildings. But it must be nice for all those countries, because Poland is probably the most important of all those countries in the eastern sector.
Generally, the Eastern European got some bad experience, especially, and the same like Cubans, with some communists.
Yeah.
Even sometimes we hear from the Chinese, the immigrants, and they talk about the same story. The same story. If you just reading the wrong books, maybe somebody coming. So this is like let's say the 87,000, sometimes 85,000, the new agents. Doesn't matter. That is the some like a tax police or something like this.
Well, absolutely. And they track everything as it is. Everything you do on the internet is being tracked. Everything you're doing on your phone is tracked. And obviously you can't avoid exposing your political opinions now in this country. And that's where it all starts.
Or you're ready to pay the price. Talking some true or whatever you think.
So, well, you know, an agent from the IRS can convince almost anybody that they cheated on their taxes or didn't pay enough, no matter what the situation is. I think they'll be, if they go through with this, and it's gonna receive a lot of resistance. But if they go through this, they're going to be putting a lot of small businesses out of business. And
I believe in people. The people, more and more people just wake up. They try to silence everybody. This is like was the Canadian truckers, American truckers, whatever. This just like that is the complete silence. If somebody said something like about the medical freedom, they try to silence everybody, and what's happened with the moms on a school board meetings, and somebody, the knocking the door and asking the question. That is not the good sign.
That's not a good sign.
So it's the last minute and last time to stop this.
Okay. On another subject, I think a central bank digital currency is a done deal, because the European Union is collapsed. So they got to go to a digital currency. They can't pay their debt. And I think it'll be a worldwide digital currency. But I don't think they'll be able to take cash away from the people.
They got a new cartridges, in the printers. I'm surprised they collecting the taxes, because they printing so much.
They don't need to.
They don't need to. Taxes and whatever something like this, that is to control the people.
Oh yeah.
That is I can take something away from you, because otherwise, if you say, you can nothing, you cannot scare me or something like this, In the same time, these people, the veterans or the people who served for this country, an American flag, if I see sometimes not give us some respect for the flag, that is something wrong with the education. Because this is a basic foundation for the nation. If you keep how was the let's say the example for the rest of the world? Put destroy your flag, destroy your values. So they want to destroy everything around.
Wow.
Well, I had customers here who are free staters, and I asked that same question. I said, if they take the cash away, what will you do? And the answer was, well, we just use gold and silver as currency.
If you don't know what to do it, just make a hole in the ground, and put once a month, or some ounces or gold or silver. and forget it. you
In
know?
a hole
It's
in
like
the ground.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Hole somewhere in some cabinet, whatever,
and forget
forget
about
it for now. If you need something like in my case, sometimes, what you can think about it. If you sound like, oh, the silver is good, it's not the problem. But in this case,
Naples, two of them, huh? What'd you say your first name was?
Jersey.
Jersey. Well, thank you so much for sharing your perspective on stacking. Really appreciate it. And thanks for coming in to see Tim.
Yeah.
I liked his old world examples of protecting wealth, sewing gold right into clothes.
Depending on your age, you either lived through a lot of horrible times in all those countries, or you were born maybe after the horrible times in any one of those countries. And so I think the older people have a very different perspective. They don't trust anything Russian.
And they don't trust currencies.
Well, that's because every currency was reset. It was reset under the Soviet Union and reset again when they became part of Europe.
I wonder when we're going to get that type of education here in the States.
Well, this is the only currency that's never been reset. And that's why our debt is so huge. But there's something to that, because that's why we became the world's reserve currency, because we've never reset the currency.
And the BRICS nations seem to be pretty intense on pushing that status to the curb.
Well, if for good reason. But if you look at the history of every one of those BRICS currencies, they've all been reset many times.
Sure.
I mean, the Chinese, got some debt here. Whoop, new currency. I mean, our debt dwarfs the debt for the rest of the world. And, the rest of the world just lies about their debt.